Hello everyone! Today we're going to be focusing on drawing plants. So you have a couple of options to work from. You could grab your own plant and draw from that, from observation. You could find a plant in nature and take a picture of it and work from that photo. I've also supplied you with a horizontal and a vertical option that you can work from if you don't have any plants of your own that you would like to work from. So I've already gone ahead and started my example for what you want to be doing here, and I'm working from this horizontal photo you can see on my computer screen. I'm just looking right at it. So here is my drawing that has been started, and I've begun it as a line drawing using graphite. So just like almost every drawing that we do, starting with graphite, keeping it light, just planning out the placement there. And I've started in on some of the charcoal and darker values, and I will continue to try and be consistent with that all the way through. Because I want to show you part of the process, part of this, a big part of this is going to be collage. So in addition to having a plant, I'd like you to look around your house. You could use junk mail, you could use toned paper, any kind of paper that you have at home, something that is paper based is what we want to be using, so that there's a conceptual tie to the plant, which, you know, paper comes from trees, so there's a natural connection there. You could use any kind of trash recycled item, such as a seltzer container like this. You could use, I'm going to be using scrap paper and junk mail that has been shredded. This provides a really nice small piece that you can use and build up the collage element more gradually and kind of work your way around in the negative spaces, which is what we're going to be doing with that collage. So look around and see what you've got and think about maybe a conceptual, environmental kind of direction with this. So whatever you have at home, whatever you can find, use that. And you'll notice also I've used half the page here. You are welcome to use an entire page on your 18 by 24, but a half of a page is also fine if you want to, save a little bit of time as far as how much space you need to cover and work more into the quality of it, especially since this is both time intensive with the drawing and time intensive with the collage element. So you can choose when you want to introduce the collage element. I might suggest that if you are using, I'm using lighter colored paper, it might get messy if you're using charcoal for the drawing and the negative spaces. You already have the collage in there, so you might have some of that charcoal smudging over into that space. So you might want to hold off until your drawing is done and place the collage into those negative spaces afterwards. But the main goal here is to have a positive space that is drawn and then a negative space that is collaged into. So I'll go ahead and start some of this. When you do the collage, obviously you'll need a glue stick. You may need scissors if you're planning to cut things up, if you're planning to use cut paper. But I would just try and go about this with small pieces in mind. So you may have done collages before that are similar to this. You could go ahead and just, glue a whole area. I could start with just this corner, knowing that I'm going to layer this up and maybe correct as I go. You might think about the direction of your collage pieces, whether it's all willy-nilly in how you're placing them, or I might decide it's easier for the pieces that I'm using to go with these small little strips all horizontally, and that might create an interesting flow in that negative space. If you go over the edges, don't worry about it too much. You can always cut some of the excess at the end, but do try and fill the entire space here and make sure that you get all the way to the edge of your plant. So when you're getting in close, this is where it is important to have small pieces so that you can get as close to the edge there as possible. I'm going to glue this a little bit more here on that side. All right, so a little bit more in this area so you can see how that works coming up against the edge. So as far as the materials for the plant drawing, you are welcome to use graphite, charcoal, colored pencil. You could use micron pen if you liked it. It's a little bit high contrast for what I'm looking for here, so you might want to stick with something that you can get some full range of values with. But if you have a good handle on the micron pen and you'd like to use it again, I'm not gonna say no to that. So do think about how you're planning to use the collage element, what you're planning to use for the materials to draw with, because anything that we've used is fair game at this point. And just try and consider the entire composition. Make sure all of your negative spaces are completely covered with your collage element, whatever that happens to be. And I look forward to seeing the completed results.